Hello, Radiant One, and welcome to the Golden Frequency, the show and podcast sharing wisdom, tools, experiences, and knowledge from the new era, weaving the worlds of seen and unseen, spiritual and practical, magical and mundane. I'm your host, spiritual business coach, energy alignment method mentor, catalyst, and facilitator, Maria Saraphina. I serve soul-driven, heart-based spiritual entrepreneurs, business owners, Magdalene's Rising, and Golden Brick Keepers wanting to grow and expand from within, as well as lead with love in business and life. If you've yet to join my sacred newsletter community of Radiant Ones, here to support the unveiling, the awakening, the transformation, and healing of all, through the lifting of the frequency and vibration of our realm, personally and collectively, I invite you to join us. Go to mariasarafina.com/DCIA, where you will also receive my free Divine Clarity and Inspired Action Guide, which I've created for you. Divine Clarity and Inspired Action is designed to help you connect deeply with your divine feminine essence of gnosis, wisdom, knowledge, and intuition, as well as activate your divine masculine essence of action, creation, expansion, and building, so that you may experience the satisfaction and liberation that comes from bringing to life that which you're here to birth while being, doing, and living your soul's divine purpose. On my website, you'll also find show notes, transcripts, and previous episodes. Know that I always encourage you to listen with an open heart and an open mind and take only what serves you and leave the rest. It is my deep honor, my great pleasure, and joy to share this episode with you. Here is today's episode. Hello, Radiant One, and a very big and a very warm welcome into this introductory episode of the Golden Frequency. My name is Maria Saraphina, and I'm a spiritual business coach and energy alignment method mentor, a catalyst, and a facilitator. I am so excited and thrilled that you have found your way into this new frequency of mine here on the internet or in the airwaves. Some of you may know me from my two previous podcasts, The Magdalene Voices and also Spiritual Business with Maria Saraphina, which I had been running simultaneously for quite a while until back in right around the end of I was going to say December, but not December, but at the end of 2020. For a while, I knew that there was a merging of sorts that had to happen. And so I had to take some time. I had to literally put out the last episodes of those two podcasts in order for this new thing to be born through me. I knew that there was something that wanted to come out. I just didn't know what it was. I knew that I, quote unquote, wasn't going away forever. I was taking some time out. And so here I am back with this new show and podcast called The Golden Frequency that you're listening to right now. As I mentioned, I am excited and thrilled that you have found your way here. In case you don't know a whole lot about me, let me just share that, as mentioned, I'm a spiritual business coach. I work with soul-driven, heart-based spiritual entrepreneurs in Magdalene's Rising. I help them grow and expand both themselves and their businesses and take that next step, whatever it may be, whether they are or you are at your very beginning, you know what you want to do, but you're not sure how to put it into the world, or whether or not you have an established business and you're ready for that next level or next step. Those are the ones that I support in my day-to-day work, so to speak, my one-on-ones and my group programs. The whole reason why I started the podcasting, first of all, number one, the Magdalene Voices was born 4 years ago. And as I'm standing here recording this intro episode, I can't help but think of when I actually started. I did record the first one, which I did in my sister's house, where I felt that there was the best light. And I remember I was super nervous and it took less than 10 minutes because I just wanted to get it out there. And that was so... I think of her and I'm like, I'm so grateful for her having jumped, not my sister, I am grateful to my sister as well, but grateful to the ones that I want, to the person that I was jumping into that, and to the people who supported me in that, because I would never have done that without the support of those. And then because in my work, I come across so many different themes in terms of spiritual business, about having a spiritual business, about inner work and outer work, that I wanted a platform to share that as well. And that's how the Spiritual Business Podcast was born. And then as I was running those simultaneously, I started to feel that there was like kind of a division, and that's not how I live my life. To me, I weave the worlds of the seen and the unseen, the spiritual and the practical, the miraculous and the magical and the mundane. And so I wanted to have a platform or a way where all of those were combined, because that's how I live my life. That's how I do my business. It's how I serve my clients. So it felt that these things were separated, and that's why I had to back in the end of 2020. I knew I'd sat with it for a very long time, but I had to close down both the Magdalene Voices and the Spiritual Business Podcast, which was not a very easy thing to do, because each in its own right, they were both very popular and listened to and seen. And I will leave links to them because they're still up. They're not going to go away. All of the episodes are still there. So if that's calling you, you can listen to that as well. You may have come because I have shared on that this podcast has been born. And if that's where you come from, thank you so much for still sticking with me. I love walking this path with you and being in this life with you. It's such a blessing, and I look forward to sharing more in this new edition of this. I'm checking my notes. Number one, first of all, as always, the guiding principle for everything that I do, everything that I am, everything is that love is the way. And love is the way always. However, very often there are these misconceptions about what love is. And to me, love is not staying in an abusive relationship, whether it's personal or professional, for whatever reason. It is not closing your eyes or staying silent when you see injustices being committed towards yourself or others. It is not suppressing any emotions or feelings that come up, thinking that, it's you have to be spiritual, and spiritual is just of the light. Spiritual encompasses both the light and the darkness. There is so much power in the darkness. There's so much gold and wisdom hiding in those moments in our lives, which can be shit hard, and we don't necessarily wish them upon anyone, but we know that once we move through them, that the magic and the transformation and the healing that happens through that is just beyond this world. And also, love is not ignoring your inner voice. It's very important for me as I share and I speak my truth for you to understand that what I share is my truth. And my truth does not have to be your truth. It may not be your truth. And always, always, always take what serves you and leave the rest. Always discern, listen to your inner guidance, listen to your inner voice, even if it's someone like me or someone like that you're following. Always make sure that you listen to your inner voice, because you are the only one who can know what's true for you. That's something that I think is part of the issues that we've had for the past many, many years, is that we've lost that connection to our connection to our inner voice, to our inner source, to our what I call the divine feminine, and so we're unable to truly hear what is right for us, and so we're abandoning our own inner guidance for that which is outside of us. And no one and nothing outside of yourself can ever satisfy you. You will always, always be the one who knows truth. I know I'm harping on about this because it's such an important thing, especially in our day and age. Love is also not allowing people to walk all over you. It's about setting clear and strong boundaries, and not being a doormat. I now have said a lot about what love is not. And love is, speaking your truth. It's sharing your voice. It is sharing what's on your heart. It is wanting equality for all. It's about uplifting all of us. It's understanding that just because I have something doesn't mean that you can't have it. It doesn't mean that there is not going to be enough. Love is all encompassing, and it includes everyone and everything. So that's my guiding principle for everything that I do and everything that I am, is that love is the way. And for me, life is about mastery through love, the mastery through love. In this podcast and show, so it will be both on YouTube, where the videos, and also on my website, mariasarafina.com, as well as in podcast form, because I know that people love podcast form as well. Now, there may be times when I'll be showing or demonstrating things where it will be good for you to actually have the video, so I'll let you know when that happens. I will be sharing wisdom and experience from 20 years of work and 10 years of being a coach, and I'll be sharing tips and tricks, tools, how-tos. There will be suggestions, there will be advice, there will be guidance, literally everything. I've found that this is a way for me to quote unquote reach more people than I can do in my just daily work with, whether it be in one-on-one or groups. And also I know that there's a beautiful quote from A Course in Miracles that shares how, a miracle is never lost. It can touch an unheard of people and unseen people. And I know that must be true, because I know from the other podcasts that I've had, I can see on the numbers, the statistics of how many people have actually listened or viewed that. And I'm nowhere near, quote unquote, having worked. I don't think it even would have been possible for me to work with that many people one-on-one or even in a group setting yet. So I don't necessarily, quote unquote, hear from them or hear from you. So I know that what I share must resonate, and I hope that you take what resonates with you and you use it, you amplify it through you, and you use it to expand and to grow, to heal and to transform yourself. Because ultimately my purpose here is to support the unveiling, the awakening, the healing, and the transformation of all. And I do that through the elevation of the frequency and the vibration of who we are in truth and who you are in truth. So I hope that you will take what I share and amplify through who you are in truth. I will be sharing, there'll be different episodes. There'll be both solo episodes, and there'll be sacred conversations as well. I'm not completely sure how it's going to unfold. This is me surrendering into the unfolding of the golden frequency. I'm going to be sitting with her. I didn't know it was she was a her, but now she's presenting herself as a her. I'm going to be sitting with her. I'm going to see what it is that she wants to have come through me and us and into the world. But there's for sure going to be stuff about spiritual business, because through my personal journey, I just love when I can support you with the expression of your soul's purpose in this lifetime. And as I've often said, being a spiritual entrepreneur is not for those faint of heart. It is grueling. It requires for you to go into the deepest and the darkest places of your mind, to spread light and to release all of that which is standing in your way, and for you to grow and expand into the magnificent being that you already are. It's very important for me to note that I see you as whole, perfect, and complete. It's just a matter of lifting the veils, as I like to call it, like lifting the veils so that you might see who you already are in truth, which is goosebump moments when that happens. Now you may be wondering, as I was, what is the golden frequency? And the best way that I can describe it is that the way that it's being presented to me is that the golden frequency is it's like a seed that lies dormant both within your physical and your metaphysical being. And as you begin to unravel that which is not serving you, that which is not of you, that which is resistant or reversed within you. You begin to activate that frequency and you begin to vibrate at a higher level. Again, something else that's important for me to note is that just because we vibrate on a higher level doesn't mean that others are beneath us at all. It just means that we're further ahead on our journey. And the whole notion of, ascension and taking off and saying, see ya, suckers, that's not why we came. It's not why you came. It's not why I have come. It's the more we know, the more we learn, the more we release, the clearer we become, the more we can support those that we're here to support, and the more we can serve those that we're here to serve. And so as your frequency rises, so does that around you as well. And it's also about supporting those that are not at that same quote unquote frequency or vibration. So there's nothing that's either good or bad to me. It's the whole, we go back to the darkness and the light. It's all encompassed in this universe or the realm. And it is we have an opportunity to do that. We have an opportunity to bring light into the dark places. And we have an opportunity to sit in the darkness and allow that darkness to be healed and transformed, transmuted through us. I like to call us the transformer, the true transformers, because we have that ability to alchemize. And so the golden frequency, that's what the golden frequency is. It's like you begin to do this and then you tap into a golden frequency. And it's not so much about the material, even though it does involve your physical presence and your physical world. It's not so much about stuff. It's more about, it's hard for me to describe it, but when I tune into it, it's like I can feel, it's such a juicy, vibrant, golden energy that's just like, it's like when you hit a singing bowl and it vibrates, and then it sheds that which, the dirt and the soil and that which is not of the same frequency. And so that is my desire, that is my devotion to this podcast, to share that. In the past, in the podcasts I've done, I've shared about the golden grid and how I see when we begin to tap into that frequency, when we begin to be in that space. And just to be clear, this is not a space that we can be in always, because if we were, we wouldn't be here. We're spiritual beings having a human experience, and that involves the flow, the ebb and the flow. And so we may at some point be able to walk on water. I'm not there yet, but and maybe not in this lifetime. So yes, and so as we do that, we tap in, and I've seen this. I was shown this. I can't remember how long ago it was, but as I was working with the Macklins and the Macklin Rising, I began seeing how there is this golden grid that's covering the entire planet, and how when you tune in, you'll literally become an anchor, a pillar, a post that taps in, and then you send out that vibration throughout the field, and that is what creates the shift in the frequency and the vibration of the whole planet. It's about love for our Mother Earth and the animal kingdom and the oceans, Father Sky, everything. It's about that love for all that is, all that was, and all that ever will be. So that's about that, and it's about the mastery through love. I've said that a few times. It comes from A Course in Miracles, and it's a principle that I also live by. Now, as I mentioned, there will be solo episodes and also sacred conversations. Now, I would love to hear from you. Like, if there is a topic that you would like for me to cover, or someone that you think should be on the podcast or the show, please leave a comment, and so I can see that. And if possible, I'll take it up in a future episode. So I would love to have you do that. If you have yet to join my community, because I have an email list where I send out news, and that's where I'll be sending out information about what's going on and all these things. I'll leave a link in the description so you can come join us. And Finally, the last thing I have to share is I would love for you to share this with your friends and your colleagues. So if you would go ahead and do that, you can also come connect with me on social media. Mostly I use Instagram, where I'm at XO Maria Saraphina. I'll leave a link in the description as well for that. And I think that's it for now. This was the intro to the golden frequency. And I'm like, ooh, it's done. It's done. It's done. Thank you so much for listening this far. I look forward to sharing. I have goosebumps right now all over my entire body. I am looking forward to sharing more with you in the coming episodes. I am sending you all my love. I love you, and take care. Have a wonderful day wherever in the world you might be. I love you. Bye. Radiant One, I hope today's episode served you well. For all the deeds and details, click the link in the description. And if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend so that the love shared within this episode through our connection may be amplified and rippled further out into the world. I love you. Thank you.